Alright, so I've re-spooled the rods. I didn't film a lot of it because it's boring. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up my heavier rods with three-way rigs so that we can drag live bait down along the bottom of the river. And then I'll try and show you sort of some of my other setups that I have for some of these early season walleyes. So stay tuned. Alright, so we have 30-pound Power Pro braid on the reel. What we're going to do, so we got these Eagle Claw three-way swivels. What you want to do is you will attach your main line to one of the loops. I use the improved cinch knot, personal preference. Palomar works well, but sometimes I find it just a little bit of a pain to tie. With these super lines, you don't have to go all crazy. You can just get 5 twists or so. Back through both loops. Get away. Cinch her down. Alright, looks good. Tag end. Maybe. Next what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut our dropper. In the river I like to use about a 12-inch dropper, just because it keeps the bait down a little closer to the bottom, where the walleyes tend to congregate. So for that we're just using 8-pound mono. Northern Fishing brand. So we'll attach that to the wet, cinch her down. And cut off that tag end. You don't need any extra stuff floating around down there with your bait. Alright, so now we got the main line going to the swivel. Dropper coming off of the swivel, and this one I'm going to use a 1/2 ounce bell sinker. Attach that to the dropper. We've got 2 ways of the 3-way rig. Final part here is now we need our leader. This needs to be a little bit longer. number 2 octopus hooks. Plan on fishing this rod with live bait, so we'll just hook nose a minnow on there. Let them drag along the bottom. Let's cinch it down. And that. This is a 3-way rig.
Well, I just tried to record this once, but I had it set on loop, and I don't feel like going through and splicing that all together. So let's try this again. Alright, so here we have all of my rods and reels that I've gotten set up over the past couple weeks here or there. I don't have a lot of patience for it, so I only do like 1 or 2 at a time. We have them lined up from heaviest to lightest duty here, so we'll sort of just go through them and I'll show you what I got. Nothing's real expensive. I don't think I've spent more than probably $100 to $120 on any one rod and reel combo. I'm just not that good of a fisherman to really know the difference, because I've used some very expensive rods and they all sort of seem the same to me. So first off, we'll start down here on the heavy end. We've got my bait caster. It is a 6.5 foot. There's my dog. She's being nosy now. Medium heavy action Abu Garcia rod with the Abu Garcia Ambassador reel. This one is spooled up with 30-pound Power Pro. It is set up with a 3-way rig, just like that one you saw over there. Except I did go with the floating jig head on this one, as opposed to just the straight hook. And I did do a little heavier weight just because the reel can handle it. And if the current's ripping like it probably is, especially with this rain, we might need that. So next one is a 6.5 foot medium heavy action Berkeley lightning rod. It has a Quantum Optics reel on it, once again spooled with the 30-pound Power Pro. You guys saw me set this one up with the 3-way rig, with the just octopus hook down here for the bait. I picked this reel up while we were on vacation a couple years ago, just because it was on sale, like clearance, and we needed another setup for someone else to fish with us. Next, we're going to go to my primary rod. It's a 6.5 foot Berkeley lightning rod. This is actually a brand new rod. I found it in the store the other day. It's medium action. I've got the Abu Garcia Cardinal STX 20 on it. This is the most expensive reel I own. I think I paid, I want to say like $70 for it. I had some gift cards a while back, and I figured it was time to get a nice reel. Definitely the smoothest reel. It is spooled up with 8-pound Northlands Fishing mono in the camouflage color. I have it set up with a 1/4 ounce chartreuse jig head, just for dragging bottom on the river. Haven't used it yet, but it seems like it's going to be a nice rod. This is sort of our spare medium duty rod. It is a Shakespeare Axiom 7-foot rod. Like I said, medium action. It's got the Abu Garcia Cardinal 104 on it, spooled with 8-pound mono. Since this isn't anybody's primary rod, I rigged it up with the Rapala slash bait in a clown color, just in case they're being real aggressive. We can throw that out there while the 3 ways are soaking. This one's my wife's rod. It is a Berkeley Cherrywood with the Abu Garcia Cardinal. Notice the trend here. It is spooled up with 8-pound Northlands mono with the orange and yellow jig head. I'm personally not a fan of the cherrywood rods, but that's the same rod. That was her first rod, and she's used the cherrywoods ever since. These last three are light duty combos. The first one is mine. It's a Shakespeare Micro Series light action rod, 7 foot long, with the Abu Garcia Cardinal, I believe it's the 101, yep. Spooled with 6-pound test, just because even when you're fishing these slip bobber rigs, you never know, you might hook into a walleye or northern when you're trying for crappie, so it's always nice to have something a little heavier than 4-pound test, so especially here in Wisconsin. This is my wife's light rod. It is once again another lightning rod with the Cardinal 101. Just set up your typical slip bobber. I don't have any weights on these right now just because we don't know what the water conditions will be like, and it's nice to be able to adjust it so you don't lose your bobber. Last one here is a Berkeley Noodlin rod? Yeah, Doodlin rod. I got this from my wife's father. He gave it to us when we were back visiting at one point. It's a 5.5 foot rod. It's light action. We never really used it. It was always just sort of a backup rod. So I was at Blaine's the other day and I found this Daiwa Strike Force 1000 reel on clearance for like $12. So I figured, yeah, let's just buy it and we'll set it up as a third light duty rod. So we have it set up with the Roadrunner jig on the bottom and a second jig a couple feet up the line, primarily for use of when you get into schools of actively feeding crappie. You can possibly catch more than one fish on one cast. So these are all my rods. Like I said, nothing overly expensive, but they all seem to get the job done. Hopefully we'll be able to get some video of them in use here very shortly, but that's what I'm working with.